right, and welcome back to the Not Your Average Nice Guys podcast. This is Dan, and I am here with JD, and today we're going to talk about the Breastfest Fest. JD, if you could just introduce yourself a little bit and talk about your relation to the Breastfest Fest and how you got involved with it.
Yeah, my name's JD Wilson. I've been a long time fan and regular with my family or just solo with friends at Marin Brewing Company, who with its sister company Moylan's Brewing Company founded Breastfest about 19 years ago.
Wow.
Or 19 years ago. I think we're going into the 19th year now. And it's a really good organization. It's a great group of people. Jen, who is the founder of Breastfest itself, got participation from Brendan, who owns both breweries, and they started doing this sort of celebratory event to raise money for women suffering from breast cancer and the different ailments that come alongside of it, because her mother was fighting breast cancer, and she had this twice, and so it was a big deal. And her mother's a survivor. Some people don't make it, and we want to make sure that we're honoring, both those that are suffering now, those that have made it through and are very proud of their achievement there and the hard work that it took and positive attitude, and then honor the people who didn't make it through that. And so this event happens every year. This year it's on July 20th. And we'll be there with, I think, 30-plus breweries. There's some cider manufacturers, some wineries, great food. Couple bands playing, and then we're going to have this really fantastic panel discussion that's going to be led by your group, Nice Guys, where Colleen will be the moderator from Nice Guys. Yep. And we'll have a nice panel discussion that'll go about 20 minutes long, and then a Q&A opportunity, and then the opportunity for people all day to come up to the different cannabis sponsors to sort of see how that natural, more sensitive, non-addictive method of therapy can work for people.
Yeah, no, I think that's fantastic. And we're excited to be a part of something that is so impactful. I think all the funds go to celebrate life. Is that correct?
The beneficiary is to celebrate life, and they do a lot of great work. I believe that they are in Marin and San Francisco, and what they do is they help women who are not in a financial position to be able to assist themselves through the different therapies that are necessary to combat breast cancer, and they work with charities like Breastfest to help raise funds for that. So it's a really important event to attend. It's a way to do so while having a good time also, but keeping in mind in the back of your head that while you're enjoying yourself, you're there to help other people.
This is the first year that cannabis is being introduced to the festival. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a cool addition. I've been to Breastfest in the past, and while it was a great event, it felt like to me that there needed to be something there more about the therapy and ways and manners to approach the therapy and sensitivities to that. And because of the recent legalization of it for recreational purposes, I think the medical side of cannabis has become that much more approachable, where people recognize that they, you're not necessarily going out there to get blasted or stoned or however you want to coin it. And there really are some, really important therapies for that. For instance, my 80-year-old mother, who I don't think has ever seen pot in her life, just started using CBD THC oil for some pretty severe pain that she suffers. After hip replacements and knee replacements and everything else. And I've been really proud of her to open her mind up from a pretty conservative background. And so we hope to, offer those same sort of opportunities by making it feel like the everyday, because it is the everyday. And so for people to go out and be able to experience cannabis and to talk directly to people, I think is a real perk at Breastfest. And I think it's something that will have a pretty great impact, not just through the monies raised through to celebrate life, but then having this sort of post-event, post-production opportunity to help yourselves with any ailments that you might be suffering from, whether it's cancer or otherwise.
I think it's a great opportunity. We're excited to partner with you guys, and we're excited to be there with, I believe it's Flocana. Maybe you can help me with this. There's Atlas Edibles, Cosmic View, Valhalla Gummies.
Valhalla Gummies will be there, all of the above, and everybody will have representation in the panel discussion, including Nice Guys.
Yep.
And, what we'll focus on in that panel discussion is how people can sort of create for themselves their own program with cannabis. So as opposed to going to, whatever doctor, radiologist, what have you, and then having these prescriptions to go home that are very often opioids, narcotic based, highly addictive, horrible side effects, horrible withdrawals, they can go to any of the different people that would be there, like Flocon or Valhalla, and it's varied what's there. So there are people with straight edibles. There are people there with solves, like in the case of Cosmic View, the gummies from Valhalla, like I said, but then also granolas and things like that that are provided through Atlas Edibles. And Flocana, of course, is straight flower that you would smoke. And what's nice about Flocana is all of their product is outdoor grown, and so they're also, while they're also providing a good product, they're also not using huge amounts of energy and such like some of the indoor programs do, although I see a lot of those going solar, which is great also. But yeah, so people can kind of create their own cannabis program. They can approach this like gorgeous natural product for themselves and find what fits for them.
Yeah, and I think it's important to just note that we offer products that are great at treating symptoms. We're not claiming to be curing cancer or anything like that. Cannabis is great in conjunction with your standard treatments that you get from your doctor and things of that nature. We're just offering something else that is very beneficial for things like pain management, nausea, and other things like that. So, in alignment with what you were saying with Flocana, and one of the reasons why I love them is because of what they're doing for the small farmers. They're a distributor who's bringing together a lot of California's small farmers and bringing them to market. Without Flocana, a lot of times these small farmers don't find their way into the legal market because it's been very difficult through regulations and just the way that the law has been written for the old time growers to make it. So that's another reason to support Flocana. And can you talk a little bit about more of the activities and the bands and the music and the things that people can look forward to?
Yeah, sure. We're gonna have two bands playing, and they're both sort of a country-esque type atmosphere, which is fun. We've got one coming from Nashville, and then another area band called Cover Nation that does a lot of just fun covers, 80s, 90s, and I think it's the first time they've been there. The other act has been there for years, and they're really fantastic. And it's also a former employee at Marin Brewing Company, which, by the way, Cosmic View, I believe one of their founders is also a former employee there, which is fantastic to see that come full circle. There'll be a silent auction, which should be, both a lot of fun and then provide some opportunities for more fundraising to celebrate life through Breastfest. And then, of course, we'll have the panel discussion, which is slated for 2:30 in the afternoon, give or take. We'll, see how things go with the band, and if, they might end a little earlier, go over. But assume at 2:30 that you can enjoy the panel discussion. And then, a lot of what this is a celebratory event. And so you have all these wonderful breweries, very unique products from many of them. Russian River stands out in my mind as one of the big ones people know. And then, of course, Arnie is the brewmaster over at Marin Brewing Company, and he'll be whipping out something fresh and new, I'm sure, and then bringing his standbys that everybody adores. And then you've got just a lot of other organizations that'll be there that are fantastic. Some of your bigger companies like Lagunitas, but a lot of small, handcrafted breweries, and it's really all good product. Gorgeous organic product, fresh product. This is not... it's not treated like this wild event. It's an opportunity to really sample and taste the different properties of each brew. And that goes along with the ciders that'll be there as well, and the handful of wineries that will be on hand. And then there'll also be, I think 7 we have this year, different food vendors, and all of the food and all of the beer, cider, and wine is included in the ticket price. And these people are donating both their time and their product to the event, and so it's extremely generous of them. And to get that many people together in one spot to do something of this nature for this many people, and we can get in and out there around 3,000 to 4,000 people throughout the course of the day, it's a big deal. It's not hard to coordinate things like that. Usually you might expect to see 2 or 3, but in this case, we've got a huge array of people, different sponsors like Sports Basement and others that are going to be there in addition to the cannabis sponsors underneath of Nice Guys. It's really sweet to see, and so we're excited about it and hope to see a lot of people show up this year.
Yeah, and it's, correct me if I'm wrong, it's at Fairground Island at the Marin Center in San Rafael. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Like if you're familiar with where the indoor venue is, where there's orchestra performances and I think Barry Manilow and folks like that show up occasionally. Yeah, it's an island just outside. It's really cool. So there's tons of parking. It's right outside of the Frank Lloyd Wright building where your courthouse and where you pay your parking tickets and speeding tickets are, or hopefully don't do anything worse than that. Yeah, it's great. And then there's sort of, I guess, like a pond or moat that goes around it. So it's kind of fun and it's scenic. And
I've seen pictures. It looks like it's in a circle.
It's a circle.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, there's a little leg that like reaches out to it. And so it's easy to access. It's right off of 101. So you can really come from all points, north and south and east to get here.
And it's Saturday on the 20th from 1 to 5 p.m. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
And ticket prices are what, $50 currently? And
currently $65 at the door.
Okay.
And there might be a handful. Don't quote me on this, but I think there might be a handful of lesser expensive $40 tickets in person at Marin Brewing Company and Moylan's Brewing Company. Okay. Marin Brewing Company at Larkspur Circle. Marin Country Mart, and then Moylan's Brewing Company is near the Costco in Novato.
And do you recommend people just stopping in there to find out, or can they call? Or
They
go
can absolutely call. I don't know if they'll have that online, but you can call ahead. The general manager at Moylan's is Christian, and then you've got Jen, and then the other managers over at Marin Brewing Company. They'd be happy to help you.
Okay. Well, awesome. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the event, and yeah, I think it's going to be a great time. Is there anything else you want to leave the audience with?
I mean, I think we just, would appreciate anybody coming. I think it really is a fantastic event. Like I've already said, it should be a great day. It is always hot out there. For some reason, it is always blazing during Breastfest. So make sure you bring a hat, some suntan lotion, but we'll have plenty of water in addition to, the different alcoholic beverages on hand. We'll have plenty of NA stuff. And, just come and have a good time, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I think that wraps it up for us, guys. Look forward to seeing you guys on July 20th from 1 to 5 p.m. at the Fairground Island for Breastfest. And, yeah, that's a wrap. Thanks, JD.
Cool. Thank you, Dan.